Bella Salon and Day Spa, located at 41 West Main Street in Northeast Pennsylvania, proudly supports Chautauqua Sunrise and its volunteers. More information at bellasalonanddayspa.net. Westfield Memorial Hospital provides high-quality health care to residents of Western New York, offering patients the most sophisticated medical advancements while keeping the ease and familiarity of a community hospital. Support for Chautauqua Sunrise has been provided by WRFA 107.9 FM, Jamestown's public radio station, streaming online 24/7 at WRFALP.com. Low power to the people. Chautauqua Sunrise is made possible by a grant from Fredonia Place, a continuing care retirement community providing dignity in a modern luxury environment. Meter's Restaurant, a family tradition for over 50 years in downtown Ripley, is a proud supporter of Chautauqua Sunrise. Meter's provides all-day dining, banquet services, and custom catering, specializing in pie. From the Access Chautauqua Studios in Mayville, it's Chautauqua Sunrise. Chautauqua Sunrise is hosted by Doc Hamels and supported by the award-winning volunteers at Access Chautauqua. We are here to share local news, colorful interviews, and events of interest to everyone. Chautauqua Sunrise is broadcast live Saturday mornings each week from 9 to 10 a.m. Send events via email or call us live. Check us out on YouTube and Facebook. And now, from the Access Chautauqua Studios, it's Chautauqua Sunrise.
Good morning, everybody. I'm Doc Hamels, and welcome to Chautauqua Sunrise. Well, how was your night last night? About 1 o'clock this morning, it about shook us right out of bed. That thunder and lightning was pretty powerful stuff when I was coming over here over the ridge into Mayville from Westfield. I see a lot of twigs and branches were down, so it was pretty ferocious. For those of you that wanted hot weather, there you go. You got your hot weather. How about tomorrow we cool off a little bit, please? Wow, muggy. Well, it's summertime. You know, people always say to me, yeah, why don't you have air conditioning? Because generally we don't need air conditioning where we live because we're up on the ridge and we get a nice breeze most of the time. But the last couple of days, I think you could cut it with a chainsaw. It was so heavy. Oh, well, we'll manage. Okay, I want to say good morning to all of you that are watching right now. And of course, if you are not watching, you're watching us on YouTube or whatever, you can always find us live here every Saturday morning at 9 to 10 on channel 1301 here on Access Chautauqua. And if you can't watch us live, you can always catch us at 2 and 8 throughout the week. And also, I want to say good afternoon to all of our listeners on WRFA 107.9, low power to the people in Jamestown. Thanks for having us. As always, we got three guests that are waiting to talk about the Gerry Rodeo. Don't ever say Gerry, by the way. Gerry Rodeo. And so they'll be on shortly. As you know, we're going to get through a few things. Well, I have some great news. Boy, a lot of you don't know this, but Randy Burt is quite a photographer, and now he's got the credits to prove it. He won like 4 ribbons at the county fair for his photography. So now we have to be nicer to him, I guess. He's an award-winning photographer, and I guess we're going to have to pay him more. Where did my microphone go? There it goes. Okay. Anyway, so good on you, Randy. A lot of the photos that you'll see, like behind me, all behind the guests throughout the year, a lot of these have been taken by Randy or Jeff. Okay, and so congratulations, Randy. All right. I want to remind you that if you have a question for my guests, a comment, an announcement for your club or organization, do give us a call at 753-5225, 753-5225. Don't be shy. A lot of people say, oh, I can't call in here. You're going to hear my voice and all that stuff. They can't see you. They're going to just hear your voice. And if you don't want to do that, call in, leave a message, and they'll send it to me through my earpiece, or they'll hand me a piece of paper or something like that. It's free of charge. We're happy to do it. This show is all about sharing information here in Chautauqua County, as you know. All right, so keep that in mind. Don't be shy. I want to say a special good morning to all the folks at Chautauqua Institution that have joined us this summer. I hope you're having a great week. I know that they had the astronaut just recently, and I bet that was a really cool program. All right. I have a picture here that I was going to share. I'll tell you a little backstory on this. I think I announced this last week. I was selling tickets at the Westfield Memorial Hospital Foundation golf tournament. I don't golf, okay. But I was helping out, and I was selling tickets, so I threw some tickets into the raffle. And Jeff, bring up the picture of the paddleboard. You talking about Hawaii? There you go. Look at that guy. Look how big that board was. I picked it up at the hospital the other day, and it was in the lobby, and I said, holy crow, look, thank goodness I had my pickup truck. I had to lash it down. That thing is huge. Well, we haven't tried it out yet, but my kids are all excited, my granddaughter and so on. So we're going to give it a shot, but that's a paddleboard. It's a stand-up type. For me, I think it's going to be a kneel board, but we'll see. All right, thank you. All right, and then somehow we didn't get this picture in on time, so our very own Miss Emerald Weish is starring tonight and soon again in The Curse of the Comet. And let's see, it's going to be at the Noble Winery tonight at 6 o'clock. And then also she'll be starring at Quincy Cellars on August 8th. Now, this is a big production for the Ripley Public Library. There's a big fundraiser going on. And you were guys at just Pine Junction? Pine Junction, and I understand it went quite well. And Emerald's picture right there in front, and she tells me that she's a flirtatious scientist. And that's all I'm going to tell you. But did you have fun doing it? Okay. Emerald and I were in a show a couple years ago, the Murder on the Petulant Express. Yeah, she was a porter, and I was a drunk beer maker. I got to fix this shirt. Anyway, so we've had some fun doing that. But this is a community theater, and it's always fun to have locals doing shows like that. So catch that, The Curse of the Comet, Noble Winery tonight, and then Quincy Cellars on August 8th. All right. I have not a whole lot of announcements, so let's go through them quickly because I know my guests are chomping at the bit to come on. All right. 16th Annual Local Music Showcase. That's at Infinity. For those of you that are interested, just mark the calendar. I know it seems hard to believe, but September really isn't that far away. September 7th from 6 p.m. to 2 a.m., there's going to be the Local Music Showcase, which involves all the bands in the area donate their time and show up at different venues, and you get to listen to all kinds of great music. If you're interested to know more information, give them a call, 664-0991. All right. Today, July 20th, and tomorrow, 81st Annual Westfield Antique Show. It's sponsored by the Chautauqua County Historical Society, and will be celebrating its 81st consecutive year this year. There's going to be a wide variety of items on display and available for sale. This year's antique show will be held today from 10 a.m. to 5 p.m. and tomorrow from 11 a.m. to 4 p.m. And it's going to be at Easton Hall in Westfield on Elm Street. The event will feature antique furniture, dining sets, glassware, silver, jewelry, and a whole lot more. There's going to be over 20 different dealers in attendance, so it should be a lot of fun to go to. The Westfield Antique Show has its origins back to 1938 when Doc and Addis Shelkey organized the first event in Westfield. The two were well-known local antique dealers during the era, and the event was so well attended they decided to hold it each year. Since then, the show has become an annual tradition in Westfield. Admission is only $5 for both days. There's free parking in the municipal lot near the building on Elm Street, just about a half a block away. It's real close. And of course, there's free parking out on the street if you need to. For more information, give them a call, 326-2977. Okay, our friends over at the Children's Safety Education Village want you to know that there's still another babysitting course that's going to be held on Friday, August 23rd from 9 a.m. to 2:30. And the babysitting course involves kids from 11 years on up. Students will learn CPR and AED use, first aid techniques, basic child care, home safety, and a whole lot more. Cost is only $75, and there are scholarships available for those in need. If you're interested, give them a call at 338-0170. Now, I mentioned this, that in the event that you have a young person that needs that first job or has interest in working with children, what a great opportunity to get some training. And for those of us that have had kids over the years, boy, I'll tell you, it would be really nice to know that the babysitter had these skills to, in the event that there is an emergency. So check that out. Okay, we got a few announcements coming from all over the place. There's an evening in Barker Common, July 24th. It says here, join the Fredonia Community Chamber of Commerce for an evening in Barker Common. The fourth Wednesday of each month, the Fredonia Community Chamber will host a local member restaurant and winery to provide food and samplings for sale. In conjunction with the Village of Fredonia, there's going to be live music in the park as well. There's face painting for the kids, and it's a fun evening for the entire family. Chamber member businesses can participate for free. Okay, then, let's see here. We got slide 15, summer safety classes. Hang on, make sure I got this right now. All right, that one's over with. So, on July 25th from 12 p.m. to 3 p.m., August 8th from 9 a.m. to 12 p.m., and August 21st from 12 p.m. to 3 p.m. Each class will contain a 1-hour fire safety lesson and either a traffic safety lesson with the cars or a bike safety lesson depending upon the age. There's a snack, they're having crafts, a game included. You know, this, if you got the kids at home and they want to do something really cool, this is at the Children's Safety Education Village. That's really cool. So if you're interested in registering, give them a call at 338-0170. Who wouldn't want to do this? It's only $10 and it's for ages 5 to 10. Okay, here's another event that's coming up. A friend from a more southern climate recently and accurately said, Western New Yorkers are intense about our summers. That's because we joyfully pack so much fun into a short season. Here we are about halfway through the season and there's so much to see and do. Now this is the promo to this announcement. Coming up next weekend is the Wild America Nature Festival, Saturday and Sunday, July 27th and 8th, coordinated jointly by Panama Rocks and the Roger Tory Peterson Institute. And it's being held at my buddy John Wesson's place, Panama Rocks. He's been on the show in the past. They're going to be featuring nature-inspired art and crafts, wild animal demonstrations, locally grown food, and lots more. It's both fun and educational for the whole family. I hear it was great last year. They had all kinds of animals there and stuff. The Lucille Ball Comedy Festival is also coming up there August 7th to 11th in downtown Jamestown with more than 50 events and 30 artists. Okay, this is another thing that's coming up. All right, let me backtrack. So that was the thing at Panama Rocks. Now, the Lucille Ball Comedy Festival is going to be August 7th through the 11th, and that's going to have more than 50 events and 30 artists. The huge festival attracts thousands of visitors to the community, including some of the largest names in comedy today. Now, then you go to Dunkirk, there's another announcement. I see what's going on here. They put a whole bunch of them together. The second annual Great Lakes Offshore Grand Prix will be held August 16th through the 18th. Professional powerboat racers compete in the world-class event that is open to spectators along the beautiful Dunkirk Harbor and beachfront viewing areas. In between all these headline events, there are concerts, craft fairs, art shows, and no shortage of recreational prospects including golf, swimming, boating, fishing, bicycling, hiking, horseback riding, and a whole lot more. They strongly recommend that you visit the Chautauqua County Visitors Bureau online. They have a calendar there, and you can just go to tourchautauqua, all one word, .com. So a lot going on in Chautauqua County. Silver Creek, let's go up there for a minute. August 3rd, mark your calendar. The Hanover Community Chamber of Commerce invites one and all to the 26th Annual Silver Creek Yard Sales. Let's see, it's going to be held rain or shine. The cost to participate is $10 per sale. Participants can register at the Silver Creek Optical at 41 Main Street or go online through the chamber calendar at chautauquachamber.org. All sales registered by 5 p.m. Monday, July 29th will be listed on a map that will be sold for $1 at the Village Park in Silver Creek the morning of the sale. So they're very organized, and you might want to check that out. So that's always fun. Okay, let's go to the Chautauqua Center. All right, the Chautauqua Center announces its 6th annual Family Fun Day to celebrate National Health Center Week. All right, and this is going to be held on August 9th. The event will be held in Dunkirk at the Salvation Army at 704 Central Avenue from 1 to 3 p.m. The free family event is open to all and features Chautauqua County's largest backpack and school supply giveaway, as well as food, music, bounce houses, children's games, and face painting. Wow, that's a lot going on. New this year is the addition of the petting zoo. The event is co-hosted by the Salvation Army in the Anu Center. Sponsors include the Blue Cross Blue Shield of Western New York, Your Healthcare Plan, Lakeshore Savings Bank, Walmart, and the United Way of Northern Chautauqua County. To receive a backpack, students must have a family member or caregiver over the age of 18. A variety of supplies will be available to choose from based on your age. Local vendors are also in attendance to provide youth and parents with information and resources from approximately 40 community organizations, including education programs, health, advocacy, and social services. Okay, if you want more information on that, give them a call at 363-6050. If you need to speak with somebody that's bilingual as well. All right, so there you have that, and that's coming up once again on August 9th. And lastly, we have two quick ones. Jamestown Cruising is August 16th. Once again, Jamestown Community Chamber of Commerce presents Cruising Downtown from 5 to 10 on August 16th. This fun annual event is time for the whole family. Stroll through downtown, view hundreds of vintage and special autos, enjoy live music by the in-crowd, and visit their local businesses and street vendors. Jamestown Cruising is sponsored by Alstrom Schaefer Electric, Elegant Edibles Catering, 5-Star Bank, and the Jamestown Renaissance Corporation. For more information or to pre-register to display your vehicle in the show, visit the online calendar once again at chautaquachamber.org. The Chautauqua County Chamber of Commerce is doing a lot of coordinating this year, as they have in the past, and a lot of these announcements are coming from them. And finally, the Chamber Golf Tournament is August 22nd. Some space remains for the 2000 golf tournament. It'll be held Thursday, August 22nd at Peak and Peak Resort and Climber with a shotgun start at 11 a.m. The beautiful upper course of Peak and Peak recently hosted the LECOM Health Challenge PGA event, and you can follow fellow chamber members to You can join fellow chamber members to enjoy this beautiful and challenging course during the chamber tournament. The 2019 tournament is sponsored by Allied Alarm Services, Bush Industries, Community Bank, TFT Communication, and a whole lot more people that I have time to read, but a lot of sponsors for this. A portion of the proceeds will benefit the Tom Barisi Scholarship Fund through the Northern Chautauqua Community Foundation. To register, call the chamber at 366-6200 or 484-1101. Okay, so that's all I got for today. And as you can tell, it's real easy. It's free of charge. And send us your announcements. We'll be happy to do that. We're going to be right back after this public service announcement. Stay tuned.
You're going to need me. You're going to need us. All of us. You're going to need our help with your water, your air, your food. You're going to need our determination, our compassion. You're going to need the next generation of leaders to face the challenges the future will bring. And we promise we'll be there when you need us.
At the Chautauqua County Fair or any of the county fairs, 4-H is always there, and they're doing great work with our youth, and just so proud to know many 4-Hers over the years, and I think my daughter even was involved with 4-H for a little while. Okay, speaking of cool things, we got back from a year ago, the crew from the Gerry Rodeo, Paul Cooley, Tom Atwell, and Bruce Gustafson have come back. I didn't scare you away, and welcome back.
Thank you. Good to be here.
Thank you.
All right. So what is this annual what? What year is it?
75th.
This is your 75th. wow, this is a special year. You know, there's a lot of anniversaries going on this year. There's a 100th this, a 75th that, 90 whatever. Our county has really got a lot of events that have really hung in there. Like I was just talking about the antique show, 81st. So it must have been back in the 30s and 40s. A lot of people were creating these events. Who's going to tell me why you have the Gerry Rodeo? I mean, I got to be honest with you. When I first came to Chautauqua County 40-some years ago, 6 years ago, I heard about the Gerry Rodeo, and I thought, what are you doing with a Western rodeo in this part of the world? I mean, you always think of Texas or wherever, but I know there's a cool story behind it. Who's going to tell it?
Go ahead.
You've been elected, Paul.
Well, I've been elected. Well, in 1945, the newly formed fire department was looking for a way to raise money.
Mm-hmm.
And there was a cowboy, well, I guess he was a cowboy, moved in from out west named Jack Cox, and he was doing some work with the drones that were being produced for the U.S. Navy up at what's now the Jamestown Airport. And he suggested a rodeo. They thought he was crazy, but he talked, who ever heard of a rodeo,
Well, that's what I'm saying. Who was it?
And it's
cool.
not going to go more than a year, and if it's a flop, it's a flop. But anyway, he talked him into it, and in a little over 2 months, they cleared the land down there. They rented lights. They borrowed bleachers from area schools, and they put on the first rodeo, and the stock all came in. Who was our first? Colonel Jim Eskew, a famous name in rodeo.
Mm-hmm.
Brought them in by railroad to the middle of Gerry. They shut down Route 60 and drove the stock down. You'll see some pictures later of people waiting to see the train unload. And now here we are, 75 years later, we're kicking off another big one.
Wow. Paul, how long have you been involved with the rodeo?
I moved to Gerry in 1960, and I think I joined the fire department in 62, so I've been there a while.
Wow, well, good for you. Wow.
That's not bad for a 39-year-old.
I know. I was thinking 38, but so Tom, you have a special job with the rodeo, right?
I guess you can call me the quarterback of the whole thing.
The quarterback.
As the chairman.
Chair. And you've been the chair for some time now, haven't you?
This is 15 years for me.
Wow. Couldn't find anybody else, huh?
Actually, I enjoy it. I've been going since I was 5. So I've got 44 years.
Okay. Wow. So as a chairman, quarterback, there's got to be a lot of logistics that go into all this, isn't there?
I start paperwork generally November.
Mm-hmm.
And then we start doing our sponsorships, and we have monthly meetings and just try to keep it moving along throughout the winter.
Okay. We'll come back to that in a minute, but I do have a question. So Paul said that they brought the stock, the cattle, whatever, the horses, cows,
Right.
things, bulls, by train. How do they bring them in now?
Now we bring them in by tractor trailer.
Okay. Okay. There's no more railroad through
No,
Gerry?
they pulled the tracks probably 20 years ago, 25
Okay.
years ago.
All right. All right. And there's Bruce. He's really the most important guy here, right?
Yeah.
I don't know about
If
that.
you don't feed the crowd, no one will come. The food's got to be good. It's like for any other organization. I used to go to meetings and people would sit there and they loved the speaker, they loved the event, but they hated the food and they're never coming back again. So, how's the food looking? Pretty good?
Looking good. Everything's ordered.
Got anything
all
special
ready
this
to go.
year for the 75th? You know, like a
No, not really.
Like a
Same stuff.
deep
Why
fried
change
pickle
it?
or deep fried Oreo
Everybody
cookie?
likes it. So.
All right, we'll come back to you on what the menu is and stuff like that. Okay, 75 years. So, Paul, how big is the actual site? How many acres do you know offhand? I mean, it doesn't have to be accurate, but approximately.
Oh, 45 acres actually.
45 acres. I guess I haven't asked you that before. So that's a pretty significant piece of land. Who owns that land?
We do, fire
The
department.
fire department. Is this unusual in the country for a fire department to own a rodeo site?
Actually, I believe for the PRCA there's only, I believe it's 3 other fire departments that put on rodeos.
And that's probably somewhere out west, I'm guessing? or-
Minnesota's the next closest, I believe.
Okay, all right.
There are a few others that are looking at it, and we've been working with them to try to steer them to get things going.
Okay. Now, my mind is like going right now, trying to think of all the the insurance, the licenses, the contracts. I mean, this can't be a simple thing, is it?
That's why it's a year-long process. We generally take 1 week off. Normally, we'd cancel our December meeting for Christmas. This year, I just moved it up a week, and we've held meetings every month. Just because it being the 75th.
So how many people actually work on this in a given year? I mean your core group now.
The core group, probably 12, 10 to 12.
You know, that's a good number. You know, I know with different organizations I've been at, you get too big and then, you know, then things get a little wonky.
Well, some months we're down to 5 or 6 of us.
Okay, snowbirds?
No, it's just people get busy with other things.
Okay, very good. Okay, so a rodeo. What is a rodeo? I don't know if we ever defined it. What's a rodeo?
Well, it's a contest of cowboys and cowgirls versus animals, is what it amounts to, and there are 7 basic events. Of course, 2 of them involve the horses. That's the bareback saddle, or the bareback riding, the saddle bronc riding. Then there is, of course, the tie-down roping, the steer wrestling, the barrel racing. We usually have about 100 girls come and participate in that. And I think Tom told me this morning on the way over that we're already well over 200 for entries this year. Last year we had 230 some entries from 32 states.
Wow.
So they come from all over the country, and we have quite a name out there. Of course, the team roping, and then the big old bulls come out as the last thing, and that's the one that everybody loves because they love seeing danger.
No, you're forgetting the barrel racing.
Yeah, he mentioned that. He mentioned that.
Girls, yeah.
I got it right down here.
Right
I can
there,
prove it. I got proof.
It takes an all head to keep Tom straight.
You're the senior statesman.
All right. I think, I don't know if I told you this story last time or not, so let's go with it anyways. We were visiting family out in Texas, and it was near the town of Sulphur Springs. It probably doesn't mean anything to anybody. But one night I saw this sign that said, "Rodeo tonight." And I go, okay. And it was way out in no man's land. I mean, we drove and drove and drove, and finally we found, I don't know, it was a couple of acres, and they had the movable fencing. It's like pipe fencing. And what it was it was like a training ground for young rodeo riders and things like that. And I always wonder, how do people get into rodeo? So I chatted with, I think, a couple of them. They said that out west, it was actually part of their physical education program if you wanted to be horseback riding or what, some of these things. I think I got that right. But these guys, gals, they were only like maybe 17, 18, 19 years old, and they were getting thrown and everything like that. But do you have any idea how you get started as a rodeo contestant?
Well, this year we held our 6th day camp, which is you have contestants come in and show kids 8 and up how to the proper technique of things and the training that goes into it. And then they go to live buckouts, and they can start doing that.
What's a buckout?
Where they start using live animals. We used all just
mechanical
things.
Okay. So it's a school like.
Yep.
Then they go live.
And then they go to live, and you can start out. We call it Little Britches, which starts out at junior high kids. Mm-hmm. And then they can go to junior, or actually they start out at Little Britches is I think 6 and up. Mm-hmm. Then they go junior high, high school, collegiate, and then they can start getting into the big time.
All right, so all kidding aside now, someone was watching and they say, hey, that's really something I always wanted to do. So they would start with you guys?
They can start at a day camp, or they can start out, if they're in high school, they can go to the high school rodeo.
And where's that?
New York State does have one. Pennsylvania's got them, Ohio. Mm-hmm. The further west you go, the more prevalent.
Absolutely. That's why I was curious, is how people get involved. So these little guys, what are you training them to do? I mean, I remember seeing something about sheep one year. I mean, do they?
We had mutton busting, insurance purposes, more or less took that and said no more.
So what do the little guys do actually?
We don't have anything for them for us, but at the Little Britches, rodeo's more out west. The insurances laws are a little bit easier to work with. Mm-hmm.
Okay. So as far as the Gerry Rodeo, there's no young person's event?
We have a calf scramble.
No, a calf scramble. Well, what is that?
We put ribbons on the tail of 2 calves, and we do it by age group, and it's 6 to 11 or 6 to 12, and we break them up into 3 age groups. Turn 2 calves out for the littler ones. Whoever gets the ribbon gets $5. We don't take those 2 calves out. We just add 2 more, and by the end we're up to 6 calves, and they have to figure out which 2 have the ribbons. And each year, or each section, the ribbons get shorter.
Oh my gosh. So how many kids are in the arena at that point?
Depends on the night.
Well, no, typically. I mean, are we talking about 10 kids?
It depends on the night. No, we've had up to 100 kids.
What? You have 100 kids in the arena chasing a couple calves with a ribbon on their tail.
Yep.
Now, what more fun could that? Justin, did your dad ever take you there? No, not for that.
On a muddy night, the mothers don't appreciate it because a lot of laundry to be done.
Wow, that's.
We had one night where the kids' boots came off, the shoes came off.
So we were walking along, picking the boots up. Okay, who owns this one?
I'm just imagining my own kids in that. They would have had a ball. Oh my gosh.
And a lot of the kids are so bent on getting that ribbon that they run out of their shoes. We've had one run out of their socks too.
Too funny. Okay. And of course, I want to emphasize there's never any harm to any of the animals.
No.
Intentionally.
No.
Right.
No.
I mean, I know you've told me last time that all precautions are taken to maintain the health of the animals.
We do have a vet on site.
Okay.
Something is required to be.
It is a requirement. I can be fined, if I don't have a vet on site, I can be fined $1,000 per performance.
Holy moly.
Now, if I don't have an ambulance for the contestants, I'm fined $500 for the rodeo.
Mm-hmm. Well, that's not a problem.
No, that's not a problem.
You have an ambulance there. Okay.
That's how much they care for the stock.
Absolutely. All right. Let's go right over to Bruce now, because I want to get to the food. That's my favorite part of things sometimes. So what's on the menu this year, Bruce?
Well, we got upwards of 4,500 pounds of beef that we will be smoking over 4 days. About 2,000 pounds of potatoes, and then the corn, and the cottage cheese, dinner roll, salad, and you get a drink to go along with it.
And do you do the cooking?
Yes.
Now, where'd you learn to cook for that much?
Well, I started out slicing the meat in the meat room, and then they needed someone to take over the kitchen, and everybody else stepped back, and I was the only one forward. So, but yeah, I've been doing it now. I think my wife and I think this is our maybe 14th year we've been running the kitchen.
So how many people actually work the kitchen? I mean, you must have a bunch, right?
Yeah, we probably, between the kitchen and the dining room, there's probably 35, 40 volunteers throughout the day.
Good. All right, so I'm trying to imagine 4,500 pounds of beef. So obviously, there's not all one piece. But I mean, you have roasts or something like that, or do you do like a half a cow, or how's that?
No, that comes in roast, and then we cut them in half and stick them in these pans. And by 7 o'clock, they're cooking, and they cook till about 4:30. And then we pull them off, and then I gotta make gravy between 4:30 and 5, and
how many meals do you generally serve, in general?
Through the 4 nights, we average around 3,000.
Wow, that's great. 3,000 meals. I'm assuming it's paper products, washing dishes.
Yeah. We used to have the metal silverware, but it got to the point where it was hard to wash and wrap them and get enough kids to do it. So we went to the heavy plastic for that. But
all right. So there's food available. We've got attractions available, and we haven't even talked about when it is. When is it?
July 31st through August 3rd.
July 31, August 3rd.
Wednesday through Saturday, 4 nights.
Okay. Is it the same price every night?
Yes, sir.
And what is it?
Well, the show is 16, and the child show is 9. But you can save money if you want to eat and go to the show. They are
24 for the adult combo tickets, and the kids is 14.
Okay.
But you can get them pre-sale. We have pre-sale tickets going right now, and you can get the dinner show combo for 22 and a child show dinner for 13.
Is there a senior citizen discount?
That is also a part of the same price as the pre-sale
Okay.
dinner show.
Okay. You know, Justin, I was just thinking, now that your dad's an award-winning photographer, maybe we should get him out there taking pictures of the rodeo. Think about it. Just think about it. Randy, if you're listening, that could be your new job. Randy had all these pictures at the county fair. Huh?
Close-up shots?
Very close up, I would think. He's got that telephoto lens, I'm sure. Okay.
Well, I think we should put him out on the field with that.
But no, that wouldn't be good. He wants to put his father out there. Okay. So each night I know there's different events and specialties. So let's walk through the calendar. So July 31st, obviously I know you have a big parade type thing.
Nope.
No parade. No parade.
No.
No special entry. No.
Nope.
What happens the first night then?
5 o'clock dinner kicks off.
Okay.
8 o'clock the show kicks off. It's the
right.
same every night.
Oh, it's the same show every night.
Well, different contestants, but yeah, the show pretty much is the same order
Okay.
every night.
Oh, I thought there was different events, different
No.
nights.
No,
Well,
everything's the same.
Now,
All right.
anybody who comes sees the same 7 events
All right.
each night.
So, if there's a contestant that's I don't know barrel racing, and they're the best that night, do they compete for a final?
No.
No.
They just clock their time, and then whoever gets the best over the 4 days, they're the winner.
Yep.
Yes.
Got it. All right. So and you said you had over 200 contestants already, right?
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Yep. 200. Well, last count was about 219, 220. We have, if they forgot to, or missed the entries, they can enter up. I believe it's the 25th is when the re-entries are. So that's when I'll have my final numbers.
Okay. Now, this is a huge event. You're 75 years in. Do you have any idea what the economic impact is on your area? I mean, people got to stay at lodging, they got to go eat, they got to go shopping. I mean, this is a really cool thing for the county.
The county reaps benefits from it also. Yes.
Yeah, that's great.
Because Gerry has no hotels, so they have to go to Jamestown or Dunkirk,
Close by.
Fredonia area.
Okay. So, those listening right now, and they're thinking, oh, I'd like to go to that. So let's just walk it through. So if there was we'll just say a husband and a wife or a couple, whatever, and they want to go, so if they want to eat, so it'll be $24 a person. Let's just say they went at the gate.
Yep.
They could go pre-sale, but so it'd be $48 for dinner, and how long does the show last?
Approximately between 2 hours and 2.5 hours.
All right, so for 2.5 hours of entertainment, dinner for less than $50. Nowadays, that's a bargain. I mean, I know what I paid last night for dinner, and it was more than that. And then there was no entertainment. So, is there parking?
There is parking on the grounds, but it's a donation.
Okay, so it could be anything that you choose to give. And
Yep.
where does that money go to? The fire department?
That's
as well?
also for the fire department.
All right. And so people are listening right now are going to get inside track right now because I'm going to ask you an inside information. If I was going to go to the Gerry Rodeo, what time should I show up to get a good parking spot and a good seat?
I'd say between 4 and 4:30.
Okay. Is this general admission? So you
Yes.
sit, everybody, there's no reserved
Nope.
seats or nothing like that? Paul, you wanted to say something, I could tell.
Well, the Midway that offers everything from fried dough to roast beef sandwiches to, kids' games, a little bit of everything, opens at 5 o'clock as well. So if somebody comes early, there are lots of things to do. Then the dinner's at 5 o'clock.
They're in competition with Bruce?
Oh yeah, but all
Well, you
part
have
of the
to-
fire
If
department.
the line's too long, it gives you something to do while you're waiting.
Oh,
Yeah.
so it's all good. Everybody
It's
can
all
what they
good.
want. So if they don't want brisket or whatever, they can go get a hot dog or whatever. Okay.
Couple of big things this year. We're
Yeah.
having fireworks
Is that
all
first
4
time?
nights.
Wow, that's not cheap.
No, that's not cheap. We're celebrating. I don't think we've ever had. I hope they don't scare the animals half to death and they break the fences or something. But anyway, we're fireworks, and then we have
What time are the fireworks? I'll make sure I'm nowhere near the candle.
right after the show.
Okay.
We close that, and of course, Tom has arranged for one of the great comedy acts
Oh,
ever in rodeo.
what's that?
His name is Keith Isley, and he's been at this for 40 years. He's been the Professional Rodeo Cowboys Association Clown of the Comedy Act of the Year 4 different times. He's been voted by all the rodeos, 700 rodeos across the United States.
Wow.
And he's also been voted 5 times the PRCA Clown of the Year. He not only does comedy, he brings people out of the stands to help him with things. He says he has something different every night. He has 3 horses that are trained, including a 28-inch mini horse.
Mini? Oh, that was
mini
so cute.
horse. And then he's also the man in the barrel to help protect the cowboys. So he's a triple threat, and this is the first year that we really have been able to afford him, right?
All right, so this is the first time coming to Gerry then?
Yes.
Wow, that's wonderful. So what does, I think most people know what the guy in the barrel does, I think. He's there to distract the animals, and in case the guy needs it, can somebody else jump in the barrel with him?
No,
So
no.
one barrel person.
Yeah, one
Or
man barrel.
Oh boy. So what else does the clown do?
He's kind of the one that tells all the jokes.
Oh.
And actually his barrel is the island, and if a bull's coming towards you, you can hide behind the barrel.
Okay.
Your bullfighters will use the barrel to
Oh,
work
all
with.
right. So they don't go in the barrel; they go behind them, or
Right.
they kind of.
He's in it, but because it just adds weight to the barrel. Otherwise, because they're making them so light now.
I'm going to ask the question: what are those barrels made out of?
Aluminum.
All right.
And then they're wrapped with like furniture padding and then duct tape.
They weigh about 180 pounds, he said.
I just can't imagine doing that job. Okay. Wow. Do you ever go with the rodeo yourself? I mean, do you do anything? Bronco busting?
No.
No. Either any of you guys? Paul, you out there? Hee-haw.
I had a lot of them that wanted to try to get me to do it, and I said no.
Tom's smarter than that.
Okay. Paul, you sent me a lot of pictures, and I would be remiss if we didn't go through as many as we could. I previewed them, and the photography is spectacular. I mean, there's great action shots. So for those who are listening on the radio, we're going to do our very best to describe it and let your imagination be your guide. And for those that are watching right now, again, you can always watch this again on YouTube. So Jeff, let's just, no particular order, I guess get them started. All right, we're going to start with the historical pictures, okay? So a black and white, it's got to be historical.
Yeah, well, the stock came in by railroad in those early days. We had the railroad in Gerry, and here are townspeople waiting to see the train unload. And of course, they closed down Route 60 and drove the animals down the highway.
That's
To
just
the
like when you go to
rodeo
Fort Worth, they have they bring the cattle down the streets for every day around noon, I think it is. Okay, so.
There's some more of the local people waiting for the train to unload.
You know, I bet that was almost like the circus coming to town.
Oh,
I
yeah.
bet it was something really special. And you know, without belaboring the point, I mean, there wasn't a whole lot of stuff going on in those days as far as those kinds of activities.
Here are cowboys getting ready to unload the cattle cars.
Okay, those are listening right now. These guys are the real deal. I mean, you see the cowboy boots, they got the hats. There's about 10 of them there. It looks like waiting for something to come off. Okay.
That's the early days. You can tell from the cars. That's when we were running 6-7 days
What?
rodeo. Now we're down to 4, but
That's how it worked.
that's the old barn that now serves as the rodeo office.
Mm-hmm. These are great pictures.
That's 2 of our original members. In fact, the man on the right was Bruce's predecessor with.
Okay.
And notice the price of tickets.
Yeah, go ahead and read them.
Adults $1, tax 20 cents, total of $1.20. Children were 60 cents.
Oh, we got reserved seating back
We had
then.
reserve seats, had a section of reserve seats in.
Pretty inexpensive. Of course, $1 back then was probably the same thing as it is, equivalent to what it is now. But still, a good time for folks that there probably wasn't a lot of entertainment back then. There it is.
That's an early picture of
That's the original Midway.
original Midway.
It looks very carny-ish, where the tents and probably games and stuff like that. Were the folks that did the Midway, were they always locals selling stuff, or are they like companies that come in like?
More local.
Okay, very good. Oh my gosh, there's the band.
Yeah, the original band.
We had a live band for a number of years, and now, of course, everything with the technology is recorded.
Right, so we got drums and a tuba and trombones and clarinets, it looks like maybe, so trumpets. So they would actually play in between the different things.
Yeah.
So now you said just put it on your CD or DVD
Yeah.
or whatever, and away you go. Okay.
Yeah.
It's all digitized now.
Yeah.
Cheaper too.
That's the original arena and the ticket booth. That's changed quite a little bit, but
Has the seating changed since those days, as far as
Yeah.
capacity?
Probably, I think we've gotten bigger,
How big?
Yeah.
How many can you accommodate?
between 3,400 and 3,600.
3,600 people one night.
Mm-hmm.
Ooh, all right. Do you sell out?
Last year we had the closest we've had to a sellout, and I think we were off by about 400.
Okay.
You look at the stands and it didn't look like it.
Mhm.
We would have had to been kind of tucking people together.
Wow. Okay. And always hoping for good weather.
Oh yeah.
Rain or shine?
Yes, sir.
Okay. These are the pictures I was talking about. So you go ahead and describe it, anything you want on these pictures. These are great.
that's bareback. They get on without a saddle, a little
Suitcase type handle that they hold on to.
hold on to and spur the horse and try to stay on for 8 seconds.
Suitcase handles. Is that where I see them? They'll grab it and they wrap their.
Nope.
No,
That's
that's
bull
the
riding.
bull riding.
That's the bull riding. See
That's
what I
the
know.
bull riding, yeah.
So how long do they have to stay on the horse?
8 seconds.
Doesn't seem like a long time.
Doesn't seem like a long time, but I bet
This
it's an
is
eternity.
this is the toughest of all of the events.
Okay. Wow. So that was a cowboy going flying off a horse. All right. What do we have here? A little.
That's the queens that come in to help from the state, New York State High School, or no, New York State Rodeo has got a queen.
Mhm.
The circuit that we belong to at the PRCA has a queen,
Okay.
and they come in to show a little bit of pageantry.
And there she is with a nice banner and some little wannabe princesses, maybe someday.
We have a kids rodeo on Saturday afternoon for kids 3 to 8, and
Mm-hmm.
it's free, and kids can come in and play rodeo-related games.
Very cool. Very cool. So the queen could come in, or princess could be anywhere from the state. Okay. Cool.
Yeah.
Keep him rolling. All right. Oh boy, there's a clown. It looks like he's getting right in the stands with the people.
Oh
They
yeah,
do.
they do.
Oh really?
They climb the fence and get up and have a good time.
I'm assuming there's a lot of these clowns throughout the country, and they do a circuit of their own.
Well, when you hire them, they try to make it so where they can
Yeah.
make
close
it
by.
make it as easy as they can for travel.
Wow. Now you were saying the gentleman that's going to be here this year. This was sort of his last year. I mean, he's been doing this
No.
for so long.
Not necessarily.
He's still planning on doing it, but he's starting to get closer to home.
Okay. All right.
He lives in North Carolina, and the reason we haven't got him here before is he's always been out west.
Okay. Well, super. This should be a lot of fun. Oh my gosh, look at that.
That's the saddle bronc riding. They put a saddle on and hang on with one hand, and
So-
the horse, the animal gets scored 50%, and the rider 50%. They combine the score for a possible 100 points.
Okay, so Jeff just whispered in my ear, there's no bit or reins. Is that true?
No,
That's true.
it's just a halter.
What the heck? You gotta be crazy to get on there then. So you're just holding on to the saddle.
Yeah.
No, there's actually it's a bronc rein. It's in his other hand.
Okay.
They
Oh,
come-
that's the one he wraps around?
No, he
No,
just
that's still a bull riding.
It's just
Yep, he just holds onto it in his one hand, and
8 seconds?
yep,
8 seconds. Why did they pick 8 seconds? Do anybody know? That must be the
Someone-
kind of average of living and dying.
yeah, that's
8 seconds.
probably it, yeah.
All right, so he's really kicking. Now, are these horses bred to be kickers like that?
yep.
Or whatever they call it?
They actually they call it a bred to buck program.
Wow.
yeah, and big money. One of the bulls that our contractor has, he paid $30,000 at an auction for him.
That's no bull.
That's no bull. That's a lot of bull.
That's a lot of bull. Oh, see, I kind of like this one. I kind of think these are kind of cool. Why? I don't know. But all right, so what do you call this?
Steer wrestling.
Steer wrestling. I mean, I just think that'd be kind of interesting, but I didn't know they had horns on them.
Yep, you lean down off your perfectly fine running horse and try to slide up his back, turn him in a different direction, and lay him on his side with all 4 feet facing against the clock.
And you got to tie him too?
Nope,
Just just take him down.
just
Yeah.
turn him.
No big deal there.
But if you lean over like that and all of a sudden the steer ducks to the other or away
Oh
from
my
you,
gosh.
you hit the dirt at roughly 30 miles an
Oh my
hour.
gosh. So we've got a full-grown
Steer,
steer
700-pound steer.
with horns, very sharp, I'm sure. And this cowboy is jumping off his horse to grab him and put him down. What was the purpose of that? To brand them? And
Yeah.
I mean, there was a reason to do
Yeah,
that.
all of these events have their roots in actual cowboy country.
Okay. Whew. Oh, boy.
The classic bull riding. That's the one that you tie your hand on.
Okay, this is when
Yeah.
you wrap something
Wrap
around
it
your
around
hand.
and
And you're not required to spur in the bull riding.
Not to what?
Spur.
What does that mean? Oh, kick them?
well,
just
spurring with their.
with your feet.
Yeah.
Your feet can sit in perfect.
You gotta stay still.
Yep.
All these rules, and he looks like a catcher from a baseball team. He's got,
A lot of your guys have gone to wearing the helmets to help, because if they get pulled forward and the bull throws his head up, some guys broke his cheek, his jaw.
how many years have they been doing this? Probably hundreds of years, and they just figured that out.
Yeah.
I think I have a phone caller. Is that true, Jeff? Okay, we're gonna take a phone call. Hold on a second. Okay, good morning, caller. Hello.
This is Linda
Oh, there
Spalding.
you
How
are.
are you?
I'm enthralled with Bronco riding here and stuff, bullfighting.
Yes. Oh,
wrestling.
that's fascinating. That's just great. That's so exciting to see.
So, what's up?
Well, I just wanted to say good morning, and I'm glad everybody survived the storms that we had this morning and yesterday.
Yeah, it was a doozy.
It was. But I want to announce that we have our computer training going on
Okay.
in Brockton right now. We're going to be opening it up in Westfield soon, I hope. We have job openings. People are getting jobs. It's a great time for people to come and see me.
All right, and this is for seniors, right?
Anybody 55 and over for the Senior Employment Program.
And let's get that banner up, Jeff, for the phone call. The phone
And
number.
the phone number to call at the Chautauqua County Office for Aging in
There it is.
Mayville
Magic.
is 753-4471.
Okay, terrific. Have you ever been to the Gerry Rodeo?
Yes, I have, and I'd like to go again. That's very exciting.
It is.
And I love the whole gamut of things, and I love being around the hoofed animals. They're just terrific. I used to have horses years ago.
You know, every time you call in, we learn more about you, Linda. Horses, I did not know that.
Yeah, I had not together. I had them at two different times. I had a Palomino and I had a quarter horse.
Now, Linda, I know who you are, and I've met you, and you're like 4'0". Would you get a ladder to get on that horse?
Oh no, I was able to just get right on. I never used the ladder. If you know how to ride, you don't need a ladder.
Oh, all right.
In fact, I used to, a lot of times if I would take my nephew with me, we would just put the bridle on and it, and I would just throw a blanket over the horse and we'd go for a ride.
Well, that's awesome. All right, well, you have a good weekend and stay cool.
Okay, and I hope everything's great with your animals and your rodeo.
All right.
Thanks.
Thank you.
Thanks. Have a great weekend.
All right, then, thanks for calling in. All right, Jeff, keep the pictures rolling. Tom, were you going to say something? You look like you were, no, just?
Nope.
Okay, all right. So what's our next picture? I know we got a bunch of others. All right. Oh, yeah. Now, this
Bruce,
is-
Bruce, you could jump in here. You don't get to see much of it, though, is the problem.
No, I don't see the show.
This is your team roping. You have what they call the header and the heeler. One ropes the horns, and the other one, and then they turn them, and the other one tries to rope both back feet. And they have to, the horses have to turn and be facing each other, and that's when the judge drops the flag to stop the time.
I'm just thinking about which end I'd want. I don't have a choice. Wow. I'm assuming the horses sometimes get in the way or could get hurt. I mean,
They're actually trained to do this, and some of the guys are spending upwards of $30,000, $40,000 on a horse.
okay, all right. Let's talk about investment here. So these guys are professional riders, so they make a living at this, evidently.
Well, here we have a lot of what they call weekend warriors, or
right.
they'll take a week or so off from work and hit some of the bigger rodeos. So they have other jobs. This is kind of a side job, or
Don't give up
Their
the day job.
entertainment.
Okay. So someone that was the very best that came to Gerry, there's a purse. So how much could they make? I know it's different.
each event's getting a
events.
different amount.
Just pick one.
This year we'll go the team roping.
All right.
It's $4,000 for the header and $4,000 for the heeler that they go for, plus their entry fees. Part of that goes into the purse also. So the fastest time could walk out of here with as much as 2,500.
For 8 seconds? Whatever it is?
Well, they actually have two runs, so they have
Okay.
two Actually, they want to be faster than 8, so
Yeah.
the faster they are, the better.
Faster. But I mean, that's a very short period of time to make $2,500.
Yeah.
So no wonder they have a $30,000 horse. I mean, and they do this throughout the year, I'm assuming.
Yeah.
All right. And of course, the professional riders, they're making hundreds of thousands of dollars, I'm assuming.
Let's see. Last year, I believe the top money winner for the PRCA was $320,000. But they'll also, in December, they have the national finals, which is more or less a Super Bowl for rodeo.
Okay.
And they're going for upwards of $10 million.
Oh,
But it's 14 performances every night.
wow.
They have to do it.
Wow. A lot of wear and tear on your body. We're talking about a lot of injuries, right?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Well, I guess any professional sport has its downside. Okay, a couple more pictures, and because we're down about 3.5 minutes here. Oh, that's a beautiful picture of horses there.
Those are all the bucking horses just standing in the pasture waiting to see if they were chosen for the night.
Okay. Now, I know that there's different breeds of horses. Are there any particular breeds? Quarter horses, Morgans? Those look like.
Mainly quarter horses are what they're using for rodeo.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Very nice. Beautiful, beautiful horses. Okay.
And they only work 8 seconds every other night.
That's a job. I could do that job.
The rules say that they have to have a day off.
Okay.
So 8 seconds every other night.
Well, there's a cute little cowboy.
He's one from our kids rodeo that we run on Saturday.
Uh-huh. Look at the look on his face. I'm not sure what he's thinking, but he looks like he's ready for action. Okay, keep him coming. We got a little more time yet. Oh, there we go.
There's a picture of what your barrel looks
The
like.
barrel. Okay.
And unfortunately, the barrel man got caught out of his barrel.
I see that. So he's a professional clown, and he's specially trained to do this sort of work. Is there a school for that?
They do have schools.
Okay, Justin, you're looking for work. You can do that.
Not that crazy.
Okay, so I've seen ones. Well, no, that's not true. I was going to say something, but then I backed off. The cow, the steer, whatever. Once the guy falls off, did they calm down? Or I've seen where they calm down, then all of a sudden they start up again. I mean,
A lot of times they'll start to settle down.
okay, and they come after the clown. He calls to him and yells at him.
Oh yeah, the bullfighters will yell
Come
at
over
him.
here and distract again. All right. So it's really a team effort out there, isn't it? All right.
Everybody works together well.
Okay, one more picture. Whoa.
And that's another one of the bareback riding.
Yeah.
I'm thinking that they would just slide right off that horse. Okay.
That's our kids' rodeo.
Little kids rodeo. Is this where they grab the ribbons?
Nope.
Oh, this is.
This is a Saturday. It's just it's like stick horse racing, hula hoop, barrel or hay bale roping.
Okay, so other little activities.
Yep.
Okay, we're down about a minute and a little bit. Okay, we're going to have to leave the pictures, but thanks for sending those in. All right, Bruce, you've been really quiet as usual. So anything you want to say about the rodeo?
We make about 90 some quarts of sauce every day.
Mm-hmm.
And what's left at the end of the night we sell is on a first come,
Oh.
first served basis. I have a list and people sign up for it. And I would just like to thank all the volunteers that come out and help us each year. Without them, we couldn't do it.
Super. All right.
Bruce hasn't said anything about one of his big jobs, and that is getting all the wood cut and split for.
Oh, for the smoking.
Cooking, yeah.
Okay. You use a particular kind of wood?
Use maple.
Okay. So it's slow burner, I'm assuming?
Yeah.
All right. Very good. That's a lot of work. Tom, I'll give you about 10 seconds.
Well, I just wanted to reiterate what Bruce said about thanking all the volunteers because people actually take vacations to come home and work with us at the rodeo, and if it wasn't for them, we couldn't do this.
All right. Great. And Paul, how about all the facts? Times, whens, and wheres, and costs?
Well, 31st through the 3rd of August, and every night. The cost we've talked about. And the big thing is, if you have any questions at all, go to the rodeo website, which is www.gerryrodeo.org. Or you can phone, we have a dedicated phone number, and that is 716-985-4847. If you go to that website, photographs, information, history,
all right there.
the whole bit, and there's more there than we could ever answer in another
right.
15 minutes.
Well, gentlemen, thanks for joining us once again. And
Thank
folks,
you.
go to the Gerry Rodeo. It's going to be a lot of fun. I've been there. And be safe, and hope you have a very successful 75th Gerry Rodeo. All right, folks, that's it for today. We'll see you all again next week, right here on Access Chautauqua. I'm Doc Hamels with Chautauqua Sunrise. Stay warm, stay cool, stay whatever. Just watch the sun and hydrate. Take care, bye.